Good afternoon, friends from the media. Welcome to MFA's regular press conference. First, I will announce a piece of message. At the invitation of the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Special Envoy of President Xi Jinping and Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, Peng Qinghua, will attend the inauguration ceremony of President Masoud Pezeshkian in Tehran on July the 30th. Next, the floor is open to questions.
CCTV, China announced the President of Timor-Leste holds a state visit to China. Could you share with us the program and China's expectation of the visit? And how does China view the current relations between the two countries? China and Timor-Leste are traditional, friendly neighbors, and China is the first country to recognize Timor-Leste's independence and establish diplomatic relations with the country. Over the past 22 years since the establishment of diplomatic ties, the bilateral relationship has grown smoothly. Last September, President Xi and the Prime Minister Xanana jointly announced the elevation of bilateral relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership. This is President Honta's first visit to China after he took office, and the first state visit of Timor-Leste president to China since the establishment of diplomatic ties. President Xi Jinping will hold a welcoming ceremony and banquet for him. The two presidents will have talks. Premier Li Qiang and the Chairman Zhao Leji will meet with him, and China stands ready to work with Timor-Leste through this visit to carry forward traditional friendship, deepen mutually beneficial cooperation, and upgrade and further advance the comprehensive strategic partnership. Next one, please.
Lady first.
Hi, thank you, spokesman.
非常感谢路透社。您能否证实王毅外长将会会见布林肯国务卿，于今天老挝会见，他们将会讨论什么议题？
将在老挝应约会见美国国务卿布林肯，但是具体会见的是
Foreign Minister Wang Yi will meet with U.S. Secretary of State Blinken in Vientiane, but as for the specific date, you can refer to our official website. I believe they will exchange views on issues of their mutual concern. Next question. With the Paris Olympics around the corner, Team China has arrived in Paris in groups, kicking off their pre-games preparation, from footballs with chips inside to advanced LED video floor and to mascot toy fridge made in China. It's everywhere in the games. Do you have a comment on that? With the 33rd Olympic Games kicking off soon, worldwide spotlight is on Paris. During President Xi Jinping's visit to France this May, he gave President Emmanuel Macron the Beijing Olympic and Paralympic torch as a gift and wished the Paris Olympics a great success. President Xi Jinping said that China will send a high-level team to participate in the Games. The 405-member Chinese delegation has arrived in Paris, where they will compete with athletes from all countries. Yesterday, President Xi Jinping's special representative and Vice President Han Zheng visited Team China in the Olympic Village and expressed hope that the Chinese athletes will pass on the positive energy of sports, deepen mutual understanding and friendship with athletes from all countries, present the good image of China in the new era, and fulfill their role as envoys for inter-civilization exchanges. The Made in China you mentioned is another demonstration of China's participation in the Games. High-quality Chinese products will provide technical and service support for the Paris Olympics and turn the Games into a futuristic visual treat. We hope that athletes from all countries will strive to be faster, higher, stronger, achieve good performance and make their dream come true in Paris. Next question.
Xinhua News Agency. The world undergoes accelerating changes unseen in a century and has entered a new phase of uncertainty and transformation. The third plenary session held against this backdrop stressed that Chinese modernization is the modernization of peaceful development, and China remains firmly committed to pursuing independent foreign policy of peace. How does this plenary session guide the major country diplomacy? The third plenary session is a very important meeting held at a critical juncture when China advances the course toward a strong and prosperous country and national rejuvenation in all respects. The plenary session stated that China must remain firm in pursuing independent foreign policy of peace, be dedicated to promoting a human community with a shared future, and foster a favorable external environment for further deepening reform. We will follow the guidance of Xi Jinping thought on diplomacy, implement the guiding principles of the third plenary session, and turn strategic plans into a great source of power. China advances modernization through peaceful development, and our modernization is a boost to the force of global peace and development. We act on the common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security vision, resolve disputes through dialogue, and promote security through cooperation. We will remain firmly committed to high standard and institutional opening up and provide new opportunities for global development. We call on the common values of humanity, promote equal-footed interaction, and provide incessant source of power for the progress of human civilization. China has remained firmly resolved to upholding world peace and common development, and we will continue to advance the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative, build a community with a shared future for mankind, and build an open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful world that enjoys lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity. Next one, please.
凤凰卫视记者提问：我们注意到中方近日在乌克兰危机上开。
Phoenix TV, we noted that China has worked hard for a ceasefire in the Ukraine crisis. Does China plan to carry out a new round of shuttle diplomacy? It has been nearly 2.5 years since the full escalation of the Ukraine crisis began. As the fighting drags on and the prospects for peace talks are not bright, the conflict could further escalate and generate spillovers. The international community, especially Global South countries, express wide concerns. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council and a responsible major country, China remains firmly committed to the political settlement. President Xi Jinping laid out 4 principles, and on this basis, China and Brazil jointly issued 6 common understandings. Against this backdrop, China will send Special Representative on Eurasian Affairs Li Hui to visit Brazil, South Africa, and Indonesia starting from July 28. He will carry out the 4th round of shuttle diplomacy, further exchange views with major members of Global South, and discuss with them the de-escalation of the situation and build up conditions to resume the peace talks. Next one, please.
谢凡人，中新社记者提问。据报道，中国。
It's reported that on the sidelines of the second session of the Preparatory Committee for the 11th Review Conference of the Parties to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or NPT, in Geneva, China Arms Control and Disarmament Association and China Institute of Nuclear Industry Strategy held a side event on NATO's nuclear sharing and released the report entitled Analysis of the Incompatibility of NATO's Nuclear Sharing Arrangement with the Treaty of the NPT, which calls the legality of NATO's nuclear sharing into question. What's your comment? The Chinese delegation attended the themed side event you mentioned, and we noted that the relevant analysis report argues that NATO's nuclear sharing arrangements violate the NPT and are essentially a special form of nuclear proliferation. The NPT prohibits the transfer of nuclear weapons or control over such weapons directly or indirectly. The U.S. deployed nuclear weapons on the soil of non-nuclear weapon NATO states are allowed these countries' fighter jets to carry and drop nuclear weapons, which is an obvious violation of NPT regulations and a clear action of nuclear proliferation. Such moves tend to trigger more similar behavior in more countries, in fact, obstruct the process of nuclear arms control, increase the risks of nuclear conflict, and undermine the global strategic stability. China firmly upholds the international nuclear disarmament and nuclear non-proliferation regime with the NPT as the cornerstone, and urges relevant countries to discard the Cold War mentality and zero-sum approach, abolish nuclear sharing arrangements, pull out the large number of nuclear weapons deployed in Europe, and refrain from replicating in any form the nuclear sharing arrangements in the Asia-Pacific region.
Hubei TV. Today, the ASEAN-China Foreign Ministers meeting was held in Vientiane, Laos. The ASEAN-China Foreign Ministers' joint statement on strengthening humanitarian mine action cooperation was issued. Could you share more details? The Southeast Asia region is still plagued by landmines and other ERW. As ASEAN countries' good neighbor, friend, and partner, China has long contributed to humanitarian mine action cooperation with ASEAN. We have provided assistance, trained personnel, and sent experts to actively help enhance the capacity of ASEAN member states. The ASEAN-China Foreign Ministers' joint statement on strengthening humanitarian mine action cooperation speaks highly of the achievements of China-ASEAN mine action cooperation and makes clear the next steps and practical measures of cooperation. This is a new boost to address the issue of landmines and other remnants of war in the Southeast Asia region and promote regional peace and development. We will jointly build a peaceful, safe and secure, prosperous and beautiful and amicable common home in this region. Please turn on your microphone. Please turn on your microphone. The interpreter can't hear his voice.
About the meeting between Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Lavrov, we have issued relevant information. I have nothing to add. Next question. Are there any other questions? Then we'll wrap up for today. Thank you.